name is Makai Munoz. This week's reading really stood out to me from a Moli's perspective. I got the sense that creating artificial intelligence is never just a technical project, it's also an ethical responsibility. Developers have to think about the safety, the alignment, and the long-term consequences of what they build and create in terms of the AI. Then in the introduction by Thomas Wang in GPT-3, I saw the other side of AI, of how it can actually create content that feels both like familiar but also like alien to us and like different, something that we haven't really seen before, I guess. And the AI's reflection on spirituality showed me that while it can be profound, it's also limited and depends completely on human input and editing. Together, these pieces highlighted how AI reflects both the intentions of its developers and the data it's trained on, which raises big questions about how we use it. The issue I chose to focus on is bias in generative AI, and my guiding question was, how do biases in AI output affect fairness in education professional settings, and what strategies are being tested to reduce these biases? There are a few things that I think are most important for us when we make decisions about using AI for writing. First is that AIs are trained on massive databases, which means they are unintentionally unintentionally reproduce like stereotypes and reinforce existing inequalities. And because it's built on databases of what people have wrote in the past and stuff. And second, we need to be careful about treating AI's answers as objective, because they are influenced by the data and design choices behind them. And third, using AI reasonably means fact-checking, questioning the tone and perspective, and remembering that it can be a tool to like support our thinking, but it's not a replacement for our own analysis. For my research, I used the GFU library database to search for academic articles on AI bias, and I made sure that my sources are real by checking author's credentials, the journal name, and whether there was a DOI or a link on a university site. I used an external AI platform to find summaries of relevant research, but then I double-checked every source in like library databases and Google Scholar to confirm that they actually existed. That step was important because once in a while AI can suggest sources that look like they're going to be real, but they end up not being real. What surprised me most in my research is that many experts argue bias can never be completely removed from AI, since it's built on human language and history. There will always be like some level of bias that will be present, and the real focus is on mitigating the bias and having transparency in it, by like making the bias visible or reducing where it's possible for there to be bias, and being upfront about the limits of AI. For me, this was a good reminder that when I use AI for writing, or like just anything in general, if I ever use it, that I should ask myself whose voice might be missing and what perspective might this overlook.